Welcome to this lesson on Australian spelling conventions. If you have ever been unsure whether to write organize or organize, color or color, center or center, this lesson is for you. Australian English follows British spelling conventions in most cases, but there are a few patterns you need to know. The good news is there are really only 3 main rules, and once you know them, you can apply them consistently across your writing. Here is what we will cover. The 3 main suffix conventions: ice versus eyes, our versus or, and re versus Then, the program versus program distinction, which depends on context. And finally, a set of key professional and academic terms that you should be able to spell the Australian way. The key principle is straightforward. Australian English generally follows British spelling, not American. When you are unsure, the British form is almost always the safe choice. Rule 1. Use ice, not eyes. In Australian English, verbs take the ice ending. Organize, recognize, specialize, summarize, analyze, minimize. The American versions use eyes. Organize, recognize, specialize. This extends to the noun forms too. Organization, not organization. Specialization, not specialization. One thing to note, some words always end in ice, no matter what dialect you are using. Advertise, advise, comprise, exercise, supervise, and surprise are always spelled with ice, even in American English. These are not examples of the convention. They are just how those words are spelled. The convention only applies to words where both eyes and eyes are possible. Rule 2. Use are not or. This is one of the most visible differences between Australian and American English. Color, behavior, favor, honor, labor, neighbor all keep the U in Australian English. The American versions drop it. Color, behavior, favor. There is one important catch. When you add certain suffixes, the U often disappears. Honor becomes honorary without the U. Labor becomes laborious without the U. Humor becomes humorous without the U, but it is not perfectly consistent. Coloration, for example, keeps the U, which makes this area tricky. The safest approach is to check a dictionary for derived forms if you are unsure. But the base words themselves always keep the U in Australian English. Rule 3. Use re, not e. Center, not center. Meter, not meter. Liter, not liter. Fiber, not fiber. Theater, not theater. This is another pattern where Australian English follows the British convention. Now the program versus program question. This one depends on context. Program with the extra letters is the traditional spelling for plans, schedules, and broadcasts, a training program, a television program. But modern Australian English increasingly uses the short spelling program for these two, and both are accepted. In computing, it is always program without the extra letters. Write a program in Python. If you are ever unsure, the short spelling program is never wrong in Australian English. Let us apply all 3 rules to a real paragraph. The American version reads, "The organization has finalized plans to modernize the community center. The new program will prioritize behavioral health services and minimize wait times for neighboring residents." Now, let us convert it. Organization becomes organization. Finalized becomes finalized. Modernize becomes modernize. Center becomes center. Program becomes program because it refers to a plan, not software. Prioritize becomes prioritize. Behavioral becomes behavioral. Minimize becomes minimize. And neighboring becomes neighboring. That is 9 changes in just 2 sentences. Every one of our 3 rules was applied. Here are the key professional terms you should know by heart in Australian spelling. Behavior with the U. Organization with an S and no Z. Specialized with an S. Assessment, curriculum, and pedagogy are the same in both dialects, so no changes needed there. Analyst with the YSE program with the extra letters when it means a plan or schedule. Unrecognized with an S. These are words that appear regularly in professional and academic writing. If you're preparing any kind of formal document in Australia, these are the spellings that will be expected. Getting them wrong signals that your spell checker might be set to American English. Now it is your turn. Pause and convert these to Australian spelling. Question 1. The organization recognized the volunteers' labor. 3 changes needed. Organization with an S. Recognized with an S labor with a U. Question 2. Convert, analyze, color, center, specialize. Analyze with a YSE, color with a U, center with RE at the end. Specialize with an S. Question 3. A training program or a training program. This one is a trick. Both are accepted in Australian English. Program with the extra letters is the traditional choice for plans and schedules, and program is the modern standard. In computing, it is always program. Let us recap. 3 main rules. Use is, not I's. Organize, recognize, specialize. Use are not, or color, behavior, favor, honor. Use re not, center, meter, liter, theater. Program with the extra letters for plans and schedules, but program for computing. Watch out for suffixed forms that drop the U like honorary and humorous. And when in doubt, choose the British spelling. One practical tip that will save you a lot of effort. Set your word processor's spell checker to English Australia. This will automatically flag American spellings, so you do not have to catch every one yourself.